Ladies and gentlemen, for our next contest, we go back to the heavyweight division. This fight's scheduled for 4 rounds. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my right. Wearing black trunks with white trim. His record impressive, 2 wins against 2 defeats, a big knockout win last month after a 10-year layoff. Ladies and gentlemen, a veteran of the cage, a veteran of the ring, a warm welcome to Boston Boxing Promotions from Groton, Connecticut, Joe Powers. And his opponent, standing directly across the ring, fighting out of the red corner to my left, wearing white trunks with green lettering. An impressive combat sports background that involves mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, and boxing. He comes to us from nearby Wakefield, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, Leonardo Ladeira. 4 rounds, heavyweights.
All right, guys. They say heavyweights. Let's be honest. This is probably men that should not be
That's what I wanted to say.
I
think
Leo
has
175.
I think Leo has competed as light as 156.
Correct.
And Powers has fought in the 70s.
Powers
so these are not two natural
yeah.
heavyweights.
When we see the WBC international heavyweight champion Andre Nowitzki very shortly, you will see a heavyweight.
True heavyweight.
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head. Yeah, Powers, I believe, was a 175 when he was fighting in 2013 as a much younger man. And shorter tonight against Leo Ladeira, who I'm looking if we have a height listed for him.
And I will say,
6'1".
I know Powers had some time off, but in 2013, he stopped a 3-0 favorite, with an eye cut. So
yes, he did.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, no. I mean, we have to also keep in mind, reality of both of these men's records. They're used to losing a little more than they are to winning. If anything, Powers understands a 50-50 record more than Leo does.
Right.
I'll tell you this, Leo was throwing the jab, a little bit of a wide overhand there, but
it was very slow overhand.
And I said it before you joined us, Chris. A lot of times on these nights, guys who typically face iron might look across the ring at a guy who isn't necessarily iron and say, all right, this is my night.
Yeah, 100%. I want to reference back that overhand. It's the first time I think I've seen as a commentator or as someone been involved in boxing a check overhand.
Right.
He was just, I'm checking this out.
A little unorthodox.
Yeah.
Leo runs a gym in Wakefield, Massachusetts, not far from here.
Wakefield, gentlemen, home of the band Wakefield.
Okay.
Ironically
if you remember them in the pop punk era.
Good combination there by.
Teaches Muay Thai out there.
Okay.
I'll say though, Leo's jab looks sharp. He's using that. He's trying to use that height advantage he's got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's using his timing very well in terms of his footwork. Every time Powers kind of comes in for a shot, if you notice, he's taking a couple steps back.
Right, and
beautiful.
Powers took a 1-2 there.
Beautiful 1-2.
Checked his nose there, see if maybe it was bleeding perhaps.
May have been a very, very hard shot. I think Leo should take advantage of this right now.
Absolutely. Right. But Leo Ladeira is certainly not fighting like a guy right now who thinks he's here to lose.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I think he absolutely believes he's the favorite here tonight. I think both gentlemen do.
And you see the difference in Leo popping that jab out and Powers kind of shooting it from his hip lazily.
Nice 1-2 there from Leo.
He's just got to cut that distance just a pinch, and those shots are just going to be close enough to do damage.
Another jab there from Leo.
Powers kind of using just that jab as like a rangefinder, but with no intentions behind it, where Leo has snapped his head back a few times. Big overhand right.
Man, Powers drops that lead hand way too much for my liking. Every time first off, he's keeping it by his thigh.
By his waist.
Literally, all you do is just take a step to the right and pop the jab. I mean, or get lucky and try and shoot a straight right hand. But I mean, that hand is just constantly dropping down to his thigh.
And Leo's been responsible all around with keeping that right hand up.
Yeah. Leo weaving his way out of the 2 body shots there.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice 1-2.
That was a great.
Right at the end of the round.
The last second of the round. Guys, I didn't hear the 10-second warning, to be honest with you.
I did hear it. Okay. It was a bit soft, but That's a banked round for Leo Ladeira right now.
And
Yeah,
Powers
look very
was
poised.
calling for that stool immediately and still
So
hasn't got it.
He keeps touching his nose. There's a good chance that it's
I'm going to throw the question over to Kyle here. What adjustments does Mr. Powers need to make here in round 2?
My first thing would be to keep that left hand on his chin as opposed to his waist, because Leo's being responsible with his hands, and he's snapping them back with that jab. And Powers keeping it at his waist is just, he has him open all day to just those range finders.
What's interesting too is when he checked his nose to essentially see if he was bleeding.
Yes,
Leo should have been all over.
Oh yeah,
this isn't sparring.
He almost
if a guy's gonna pause and like, did you hurt me? You get 2
right
shots.
on him.
The answer is I did, and I'm going to hit you with more.
Yeah.
We go now into round 2 of 4.
And it's been the night of round 2 stoppages so far.
It has been. And I'm trying to think if that was the first round we've had without a knockdown tonight.
Interesting.
But, you saw there, Leo landed the harder punches, the more eye-catching shots, and he's taking his time in there. He's not really trying to bulldoze Powers.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's found his range pretty well with the jab.
He seems pretty comfortable in there, which is nice to see. He's not
right.
He's pacing himself well.
Yeah, I think, like I said, you see a lot of these Brazilians who start in the BJJ grappling world. They come into boxing, and they sometimes, like we saw Bruno earlier, they're very crude, and Leo.
That's not the case with him at all.
Leo's got 14 professional fights,
and he's shown the
tough competition,
and more importantly, he's shown the willingness to improve his skills.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is a guy. If you look at his fights from his early in his career, he's gotten a lot better. As he hits Powers with another 1-2.
He's using his distance very well. He's landing that straight right hand really well, and it's
good body shot.
That was sneaky. I'd like to see him go down to the body a little bit, Kyle. You just mentioned he just finally landed a shot down there. But let's be honest, Powers is soft down there. He's not a heavyweight, so you just start ripping shots down there.
I would love to ask Leo what his motivator was to maybe just invest more in his skills and improve. But he had a fight against a guy named Anthony Lenk back in April 2021.
I know Anthony Lenk, yeah.
And Leo dropped Anthony Lenk in that fight.
Did he really? Wow.
He did.
Anthony Lenk had a little bit of buzz at one point. I think he was briefly signed to Real Deal Boxing Promotions, and he also had a nice battle with Mark DeLuca in Plain Ridge a few years ago.
So after that fight,
as legit as a New England
Called,
boxer.
by the way, that's Deep Cuts with Gray and Chris.
Yeah.
But my point being is he took a nice shot there. But
yeah,
Leo dropped Lenk in that fight, lost a decision, but ended up winning 2 in a row after that, and started kind of kickstarting a 500 run.
He's kind of improved his craft. I mean,
sure.
It's very rare you see somebody come out of the gate as a hard opponent, like somebody that's just there to just get stopped and turn their career around like that.
Right. Powers, meanwhile, just seems to I think he's having trouble finding the range right now. He hasn't been able to really land anything solidly.
I mean, he's the much smaller man.
It certainly has to be hard
and
to fight.
And because Leo's being educated with that jab, there's not really a range where Powers has been able to find himself within punching range, I
have a feeling if Leo can get a knockdown, and this place is going to explode. I mean, he has a lot of friends here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good left hook.
But he's got to follow it up.
Credit to Power. Yeah. Listen, Powers has taken all these shots, though. Hasn't really.
Just go downstairs. He's just simply
not
going
downstairs. The only shot
he's
got a reaction on is that right hand where he kind of checked his nose.
Yeah.
But these jabs are going to add up.
I mean, right now Leo is banking. He's banking rounds.
Right.
And Powers landed there for probably the most solid shot we've seen from him in a while. But Leo right now.
But again, right back to the jab.
Right back to the jab. Very disciplined.
Powers isn't bringing that left hand up.
I'd like to see him put a little more pressure on Powers, though. I think he's established that he's in control enough to take a couple chances.
And it's what's in Ladeira's head. Is he happy to get a victory tonight, or does he want to put his foot on the gas pedal and get a stoppage?
For Powers, he's got to ask himself, Mike is content here to stand on the outside and just get picked apart by this jab.
Or do I want to take some risk?
Or I want to take a risk here and maybe try and land something on Ladeira, who has been stopped before.
Right.
But right now, he's a sitting duck for that jab.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it here in the replay.
Yeah, he's having success with that sort of long 1-2. That left jab, straight right hand.
I mean, like you said, to speak to
there was that one body shot.
You can see there in the replay, yes.
To speak to the improvement in Ladeira's boxing, you even see him parrying that jab every time he throws it. That
right there.
Jab. I mean, he doesn't look like your typical BJJ guy in there looking to tough it out. He looks like a boxer tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And like you mentioned earlier, he certainly looks like he's in shape.
All right, we're going to head now
Guys,
into
I have to
round
comment on
3.
something earlier that I just was really impressed with. In the Paul Walters stoppage with Delgado in the second fight of the night, am I fair to say that the DJ turned off the in-between music, one punch was landed, the fight was called off, and then he immediately turned the music back on?
Oh, a seamless transition.
Seamless transition.
According to the replay, it was 3 to 4 seconds into the second
I
round.
disagreed with
where
the
he
10
hit
seconds.
where he
it was
hit the
quick.
ground.
But listen,
And there was no count. So
that DJ was fantastic. That was like
He was not
music cut, one punch, pop.
Not a man that was on his phone for sure.
Yeah.
No. We are in the third round tonight for the first time, guys.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. First or third round.
And I think that makes sense with the pace that this fight is being fought at right now.
It's not as fast and furious as the other
Another
fights.
jab from Leo. I think, I mean, Leo's right now sticking to a pretty disciplined game plan.
Starting to get the feel that Powers would just be happy to go the distance. I don't feel him like trying to go for the win at this point.
I don't really see a major change in tactics right now from Powers.
Yeah, I mean, Powers' corners basically should tell him, listen.
I think his defense has tightened up a bit.
But they should tell him, hey, go for broke, go for it. Let's see what happens when he
right.
throws some big bombs at this guy, and that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, you're 2-2.
Yeah.
You know, this is your chance to get above 500.
I think
another
1-2 there from Leo.
You want to leave it all out there.
I mean, to watch him just constantly drop his lead hand and just try and pull back, and then Leo has just enough room to land that too. Not with a lot of power, but it's touching him every time.
I'll say this. I think that stance works against an Akia Prote. I don't think that works against Leo Ladeira.
Right. Yeah. And I will say the first half of this third round, Powers was a little busier with his jab, even though it was just kind of pulling out there. But even that can break up a guy's rhythm. But I haven't seen it as busy in the latter half of this third.
Mean, another shot.
Big right.
I want to give Leo. I'm going to compliment Leo on his footwork as well.
Yeah.
I see a guy. I'm watching.
He's
him
cutting the ring off.
He's cutting the ring off really well.
You know what he's doing really well, Gray, is
there's
the body shot.
There's the body shot.
Oh, what was that?
Is Jackie going to rule that low?
If it was low, it's because his glove knocked it low.
Jackie Morrell here deciding that that's a low blow, and Powers saying, "Oh, it's all good."
It was a punch. I mean, it's happened to me. A guy throws low. And you parry it into your groin protector, and
I'm sure we'll get a replay from that from our esteemed
doubled up
Mike in production.
Right overhands there, both blocked by Leo. That jab has just been his best weapon.
Yeah, it's a really nice performance from Leo so far. I mean,
very disciplined.
And I mean, I think if you talk to any
what
legitimate boxing coach, the jab is the most.
There he followed it with a shot.
He puts it together. A three-punch combination this time.
Literally, it's all he has needed to do is add a third punch to those 1-2s.
Powers is going to beat the count here. Let's see if he's interested in continue. He nods, and it's going to be at the end of the round here.
Yeah, you got to get your elbows off the rope. Make sure
he should go right after him. He should go right after him.
There
and Ladeira banking a 10-8 round. And he is really fully in cruise control right now. As we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the fourth round here. We'll see if Powers' corner wants to let him go. But
hopefully they do. I don't think there's any reason not to.
Leo Ladeira with a healthy 4-point lead as we come into the fourth and final round. I see Powers looking pretty discouraged.
And boom! Literally, it's everything we've been talking about. All you needed to do was add a third shot.
It was the first time we've seen Ladeira throw a three-punch combination.
And he dropped it.
And it gets him a knockdown. Such a disciplined performance tonight from Leo Ladeira.
Yeah, good for him, man. Really impressed.
Neither guy taking the stool going into the fourth round, which I think is
crazy.
They
are heavyweights, Kyle.
But, I don't know.
I think if
love it.
I think if you ask Leo, hey, do you want to take more fights in the heavyweight division? He probably would say, I'm good.
Yeah, and again, like we said, he's not facing an Andre or a true natural heavyweight in this bout.
What would be nice to see Leo do right now, coming off the knockdown, a lot of respect for each other. These guys both, I think they're having fun in there. They love the sport.
Which I would prefer to see.
He should try and get that stoppage.
Absolutely. I think he's got a wounded man in front of him now. Let's see if Leo is content to try and box here.
Leo's coming forward right now. He's back to snapping that.
He also knows if he has gas in the tank, it's the last round.
Exactly.
So why not go for it?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say this Powers kind of going for it a little more than.
That's probably what Powers should have been doing since the beginning of the fight.
He should have been doing that.
And again, I don't think that one was low. They kind of touched gloves after, but it looked like it landed right on the waistline.
I think Powers is see him jabbing a little bit. I mean, this is maybe that woke him up. he seems more willing to trade.
Yeah, probably a little too late.
Absolutely. But a win here for Ladeira, I mean, he's good.
Oh, again,
it's
beautiful.
going to do him wonders.
He should go here. He should go. He
Dig
should
that
go right to
body.
the
Oh,
bar.
he's hitting it right in the corner.
Beautiful.
And that's it. Jackie
that
Morrell
is-
waves it
no
off.
count.
Leo Ladeira
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
here into Melrose, Massachusetts.
Leo gets the stoppage.
Good for Leo. Like I said, trains. He has a gym right nearby down in Wakefield.
I think Jackie jumped on that stoppage.
I was
a little
just
too
gonna
soon.
say,
I would have given Powers a count.
I don't want to be that guy that's a fighter's fighter.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's a knockdown, but we're in the fourth round.
We're
We're
Let's see
gonna.
what's
All right,
happening.
so let's
Count
see
the guy
replay
out.
here.
He was clearly okay to
Two
continue.
shots. It was the body shot. He
Five,
finally threw the body
Finally
shot.
went to the body.
Eight punch combination there.
But why don't you give the guy a count?
Yeah.
He wasn't
He
hit with a
didn't
vicious
slump to the
head
ground.
shot.
Yeah.
He wasn't even fully down. It was a knockdown. I mean, there's no.
Hey, but you
no
gotta love that. You
complaint
gotta
from
love
Powers.
that.
But-
Two journeyman fighters bonding afterwards. I think they both know they had a good opportunity tonight, and Leo just brought a little more to the table.
Yeah, I wonder if, we'll see more of Leo at cruiser. We'll see him maybe light heavyweight. But certainly today he fought like the man who truly believed he was the A side tonight. And he's going to move his record to 5-10 with 5 knockouts. And like I said, a winner of 3 of his last 5.
Right.
Don't call this man an easy pushover. Did it tonight in the 4th round. Very impressive work.
Do not call it a
Leo-
comeback,
yeah,
Greg. He's off and running.
Certainly. And, for Joe Powers, look, I think I saw from him some good defensive work at some points. A guy that definitely knows how to survive in the ring, can handle himself a bit. I wouldn't say curtains for him either. I'm sure there are some other, heavyweights, cruiserweights that he might be able to get in the ring with. So,
But to be competitive, he's in the wrong division.
right, he's too small for heavyweight. Might want to consider getting himself back down to 200 pounds. Maybe even 175 if possible. But, he's just too small for this weight class.
Well, great. Let's talk about the co-main event that's coming up. It's the big man.
We got the
Boston boxing favorite. The
the-
WBC International Heavyweight Champion is here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, let's get the announcer from Peter,
Okay.
and we'll preview the next bout.
How about a round of applause for these two big men? Folks, the end comes at 1:06 of round number 4. Referee Jackie Morrell calls a halt to the action. Your winner via TKO, Leo Ladeira.